Whew. Here we are. Here we are. Let's see. Hey, what's going on? I'm just starting to send the live out to everybody. I'm on time, as you can see, but I still have to notify the people. What time do you call this? Oh, babe, this is right on time. I said 9 o'clock. It's 9:04. I've been on here for like the past 2 minutes. Don't start with me. How are you? How are you doing? Are you still in the States? Not even. CP time is when I'm on like at like 9:15 or 10 o'clock, like I used to be. Like I used to be in my former life. But now, I'm on time. I'm on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single week. And I love that for me. Good, good, good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I'm waiting for the people to join on in. I have like a podcast still playing in my ears, y'all. But how are y'all doing on this Tuesday evening? It's good to see y'all. It's been a minute. Family stuff will be here a little longer. Okay, okay. Well, I hope everything is okay. And maybe we can, set up a little link up like we've been talking about, right? That would be lovely. But yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome. How are y'all feeling? It's good to be back in the space with y'all. So much going on, right? Hi, Morgan. Hi, Morgan. Thanks for joining, my love. What I'm gonna do before we even get into the thing, thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate it. This is one of my H&M grails. I think shortly before I feel like the quality of things really took a turn for the worse over there. I haven't shopped at H&M in like in terms of like getting an actual fashion piece from there. I can't tell you years it's been. I'll run up in there just to kind of see what the trends are and what's trickling down and just to see the space for sure, but ain't nothing over there cute. May have to move back sooner. Oh, really? Well, I'm not mad at that personally. But welcome everybody. It's been a great week so far for me, child. Things have been on a roll. I've been feeling the mojo to really like, put some pep in the step for 2025, okay? Like I feel like I've been telling all my friends this and I feel like I've been saying this on here like over and over and over like a broken record, but I'm like now I feel like the smoke has kind of cleared for the beginning of the year and the crash landing that it was, even coming back from my trip. And I feel like now 2025 can begin, right? Like things can really like get going, really ready to hit the ground running. Okay. I'm giving you Donald Trump arms because it's real. Like, yeah, it's really go time. Really cute stuff. I've been listening to this one person. I've been listening to old girl, what's her name? Excuse me, Slim Kim on TikTok, and she's really cute. She's really cute and fun, and I know she had some controversy in the past, but like I enjoy the kind of like motivational stuff that she talks about. So I like her very pointed point of view. So, and she's a cute black woman. Like, why not? So, um, controversy in the past because I believe she said something about like people said that she was like being a fat shamer and saying things like, you know, she loves being skinny is like her favorite thing, and blah 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 blah. And people like attacked her for it, and then it was this whole other thing. I mean, her name is Slim Kim, and there are people who love being skinny. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There are people who love being skinny. Fat shaming Anita, please. Child, I'm just getting back into the gym myself. I was supposed to go to the gym this morning. Okay. I was supposed to pop into the gym this very morning, but I am in so much pain from going the day before because I went yesterday. I ain't got it in me, child. I ain't got nothing in me. I have nothing in me. I'm trying to announce the live. I'm not playing on my phone. I'm not texting nobody. I swear. I swear. But I do want to let the people know. Are you a Planet Fitness girly? I am not a Planet Fitness girly, especially not the one in my neck of the woods, uptown in the Bronx. I like to go to Blink Fitness. Not like I'm being a snob, like what's the difference, right? But I am definitely a Blink Fitness bunny. I be up in there 3-4 times a week, getting my body did the natural way. No shade to my girls who like to get on a table here and there and everywhere. Down to team. No, listen, that is why I don't be at the motherfucking Planet Fitness. Okay, don't let me say too much, but I hear it gets real freaky deaky at some of these gyms, and the kind of child of God that I am, those are not the antics that I'm trying to get into at a public gym uptown in the Bronx. Like, please, this is not what my mom came all the way to this country for. Okay, not these kind of experiences. So no thank you. But today, what are we talking about? We're talking about so many things, but not really. I wanted to talk about the main thing tonight, which is the new Mugler appointment. The new Mugler appointment. Sorry, we're live. I'm posting. See, we're live. I'm just posting this for accountability's sake. Countdown. Boom, boom. And there you go. Mugler, yes. It's so like, you know what? I feel like it's such a drag these days when we hear the rumors of these appointments and these people stepping down like weeks, months in advance before the deal is officially sealed. So by the time we get the appointment, everybody is like, didn't we already know this was going to happen? And it's like, no, we didn't know it was going to happen. They just announced it finally, but the girls have been talking and leaking and spilling. Why is everything so leaky all of a sudden? Why is everybody so spilled the beansy back to back to back like this? Like, fashion people are a lot looser than with the lips than usual. Has anyone else noticed that? Because it's the only, I feel like I know what you're gonna say, but yeah, I mean, I was talking about this on Threads the other day. And it's kind of sad when you think about the fact that the most exciting fashion news or the most exciting thing about the next season of Fashion Week that we have to look forward to is the fact that there are so many new appointments that are going to be doing these debut collections. And that's really what's driving all of the fashion news fodder nowadays. Right. Exactly. You see my point. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Like it's like the appointments themselves are trumping the clothes. I feel like big fashion with a capital F is trying every angle, every angle to try to tap into something else to connect, you know, clothing to make it pop and give it another sense of dimension. Whether it be the AI stuff that's coming on now. Have y'all heard about H&M starting to embrace the AI modeling and how they're going to start incorporating AI models into their campaigns. Did y'all hear about that? Let me get on the live on the burner because I forgot that's my other way of getting everybody to tag in. Let's see. I forget that everybody's on there too. So let me sound the horns, sound the hibiscus. Uh, there we go. I saw that. I am not about it low key. They should AI still lieutenant. Please. Do not. I am not in support of making the dead work any more than they already have. Let my girl rest, okay? Because you know that's going to be the next step. They're going to start bringing girls models back from the back in the day and have them on the runway. I feel like this could be, the potential remedy for the fact that a lot of the girls cannot walk these days. You're here for it. You support the AI. Interesting. I don't know. And then, did you get into the H&M campaigns that they had for it, where they were saying like, it's like she's me, but without the jet lag, and something was like, oh, I decide when she works and when she's off or some shit like that, and I'm just like, this just is like Severance come to life. Gia selling back would be crazy. I could see them doing like a tribute Gia collection and bringing her back. Hi, welcome to the live space. I got people on my IG still, but I am on the YouTube with everybody else, which is also Yungfleur. But yes, hi, how are you? I'm like, hi, how are you? I'm on my customer shit heavy. I've not seen Severance. Is it good? I just started, so I can't even speak on it. I'm not like a Severance like junkie yet. You know what it is? It's like one of those shows where like you really have to lock in and really pay attention, and it's not something I can just watch while I'm doing other things like organizing content or updating whatever. Like I need to move. I need to walk and talk. You know what I mean? I need to be able to multitask. But that is definitely not a show for a multitasker. You have to lock in and zero in, and like if you miss 10 seconds of activity, you miss a whole lot. So yeah, but I think I got through like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then I like was like casually like fake watching the 4th and 5th episode. Hey John, you should head over to the YouTube where all of the other folks are if you don't have any issue with that. Everybody's on here. Hey, welcome to everybody that's joining in on the live on YouTube. By the way, I'm Yungfleur. We are live. We just been shooting the shit. I was on it when Squid Games came out. I had to beg people to watch it. It starts slow, but keep up with it. It will pick up. I'm so over these shows. Like that's why I haven't watched White Lotus this season, but I couldn't even get to the White Lotus because it's just such a slow groaning roll until you finally pick up the speed. I cannot do it. I cannot do that. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Yes, it's if you find I think I can even pin the link here, but it's also the link in my bio. So if you tap in on that, it'll plug you straight into where the rest of the family is at. I'll see you. It picks up by episode 3 or 4. Babe, that's 180 minutes. 180 to the 240 minutes that you are wanting me to lock in and watch you play out the characters and their roles and their motives and their whatever. I can't do it. I can't do it. I am so sorry. Hey, Ting, how are you? Welcome to the Yungfleur Life Space. I'm Yungfleur. We are live. It's so worth it. I heard the thing about the brothers that are like hunching. I don't know how much that's going to, be beneficial for me in my personal journey. I don't know how that's going to really. I'm good and tired, child. I feel you. It has been a long week already. I feel like these weeks are power punch. I think you joined in, John. I see that number go up. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Yungfleur live space here on the YouTube, the motherboard, the home base. Okay. But yeah, I have to get into it. I have to carve out some time during the weekend, maybe watch an episode at a time. But I'm so bingy. That's the other thing. If I do get into it, I'm gonna be stuck in this bed for life, okay? Or like all night, sleeping past my bedtime. And I have to start adhering to a bedtime. I gotta be like, oh boy, up at 4 a.m., dunking my face in motherfucking ice every other hour. I don't know what. All I could say was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, Saratoga is gonna go up. Saratoga is going to have a field day. And sure enough, like if he wasn't a Saratoga ambassador, he should be one now, because he truly ate that. Like that is how you market. Like that was excellent marketing right there. He could have sold anything in there. He could have put Tabasco next to the sink or next to his bowl of ice over and over and over. Tabasco would have shot up. Like that was truly viral content. It was everything like super on the nose with like what's trending right now in so many different ways. Like that was perfect. That was a masterpiece. And I don't even think he did it like that on purpose. Like I feel like that's the best part. Like he wasn't intentionally trying to be this like crazy meme, this like multi-layered super meta meme, but he is that. Like he ate that. He truly ate that with his dumb ass. But anyway, what are we here to talk about? Tonight, I wanted to talk about mainly the Mugler news and about Casey Cadwallader stepping down and about Miguel Castro Freitas, who was immediately named the new creative director following the Casey's departure. Now, I don't know. Y'all maybe, plenty of other fashion buffs are in the room. I've never heard of Miguel Castro Freitas personally. I don't know that the man existed or any of the work that he had done until I did my research, did my Googles, and pulled some things up. And I'm not really, I feel like the news is pretty sudden or pretty recent. And I haven't really gotten the full vibe check on how people feel about Miguel taking over at Mugler. And I feel like, did I ask y'all that already? Yeah, what do you think about the Mugler? Danielle and Supreme, that would be crazy. Are y'all feeling it? Are y'all familiar with Miguel? Anybody? Let me know. And please thumbs up if you haven't already. I appreciate it, my friends. I'm gonna tap one now of the live. I'm so tight. I'm so tight that they really took my live away. But I'm not gonna dwell on the negative. I'm not gonna dwell on the negativo. No clue who he was either, so I have no expectations. Well, let's talk about it a little bit. I had shared a story a little bit earlier where I talked about his credentials, and baby, he is chock full of them. So don't ever get it twisted. It's big M, not the little one. The designs are designing. So first of all, I think before we even get to that, as I'm thinking of the order of things, right? And before we start to get real jumping back and forth and all over the place, and just so that y'all don't lose your place mentally, let's do these things in a proper order, okay? Let's handle this very journalistically. So, start off with Casey Cadwallader and him ending this era and what that meant for Mugler. It has certainly been quite a run that he had. And overall, I think he should pat himself on the back. I think he should be proud of himself because he really did a lot to give this. He really breathed. He really breathed a new life into the Mugler ready to wear that it has not experienced since they've tried to revamp it the past few times with different creative directors over the years. I don't think they ever struck a nerve with something that was as culturally relevant as this recent Mugler era. Honestly, no shade, it even trumps the Nicola Formichetti, Lady Gaga whole like spectacle and all of that, and the promotion of that, like in every way. Like I don't think there was any other brand in the 2000s since Manfred stepped down that really did what he did. No one can take that away from him. Like Casey really put the team on his back. And, coming from a brand that, as you may know, the bulk of their profits these days, and what it's been for decades now, is their fragrances. Alien and Angel are two of the most popular, most ubiquitous, most lucrative fragrances on the market, probably in history. I'm pretty sure that's like big textbook numbers. Won several awards over the years just for being just like this everlasting kind of like pinnacle of olfactory elegance. You know what I mean? They really tore. And like, I mean, it does smell like old bitch a little bit to me sometimes, but I have like some of the modern updates where they've kind of played with other fragrances that they've blended in. Some of those are cute. Some of those are cute, especially for Angel. Alien too. But Alien, I mean, the OG Alien is like everything, especially the way that it dries down. Love it. But everybody loves Mugler fragrances. Like in the modern day, we love and buy Mugler fragrances. Everybody longs for and lives for, the Mugler designs of yesteryear, of the 90s and the 80s when, it was super, when Manfred was there. And it definitely was a different vibe, and it isn't necessarily something that speaks to how people are dressing right now. It's every bit of the fantasy that he intended it to be. And so, I feel like trying to channel that into the modern day, which, we're really seeing that as an ongoing challenge for a lot of the fashion houses these days. If you read the news, if you're looking at any of the reviews, if you're on the Vogue app like I am, like you'll see them constantly saying like, oh, the challenge for the brand is to bring this person into the modern day. Tom Ford talked about Peter Hawkins getting the boots, having to ski dazzle because he didn't know how to bring the Tom Ford man and woman into the modern day. Like that is the constant like kind of mission that every creative director who steps up to the plate is being given. And some of them, like a Jonathan Anderson, are rising to the occasion and really knocking it out the park. Excuse me. Now others, like say a Daniel Lee, are kind of struggling to catch their footing on things. Yes, love the 80s and 90s McLaren. I mean, everyone does. It is the height of everything that it is, the height of design, the height of craftsmanship, the height of fantasy, the height of embellishment, the height of just glam, the height of sexiness. It just is just like more. And that's what we love about it. But the key is to try to figure out how that can speak to how a Mugler person would want to look and live their lives, how they would want to look and how they would want to live their lives every day. Now, when it comes to Casey Cadwaller, right, he definitely hit the mark on the commercial aspect, as you know. Lest I repeat and bring us back to what was the onslaught of these cutout bodysuits that were like at every birthday party, child, at every fashion event, at every club. Like it was insanity. That bodysuit was a hit. And it really was, I think, the lasting, like one of the lasting like beacons, like one of those, the tower of his existence, his flag mark, I think, in the lineage of Mugler is that moment, that bodysuit moment. Um, the way he was able to marry the idea of the sexiness, the sportiness of Mugler, because that is also something that people don't talk about enough. I think it's just like the athleticism that Mugler also channels, while you know showing this adoration and this obsession with the body and fit, right? Like it goes all across the spectrum. Like I said, it's the heights. So he's talking about the sensuality of the body, the softness of the body, but also the hardness of the body, the twists and the turns, you know what I mean? And the muscle, the strength of the body. And that was something he was never afraid to talk about. Like strength was his thing. Um And so I feel like we definitely got that clearly shining through when it came to Casey Cadwaller's work. This focus on the tailoring and the body, the focus on the silhouette, for sure, the study of that, but definitely a lot more of a streamlined version of all of those things, which makes sense and I think is a lot more appropriate for the times that we're in. Because the girls love, the things on the TikTok they talk about all the time, but you're not gonna wear it. Now, I mean, now I do know some fat bitches. I know some bad bitches that will pull up in a full Mugler wardrobe every single day of the week, but that is not what is going to sell, and especially not for no affordable prices. And that was the other part of it. Like they were able to make things that, I mean, were on the more affordable end for Mugler. And at the end of the day, regardless of the price points, it was a hit. It was still a commercial hit and something that people bought up a ton of, and people knocked off a ton as well. Very much an iconic moment. And even, when you think about the Mugler ambassadors, like the Mugler people are also such a strong part of what we know the brand to be. Like um, Mr. Mugler, he teamed up with so many divas back in the day. Like so many. There's Diana Ross, of course. Grace Jones was out there. Some of the superstar models, the iconic models, of course, and really put girls on the map. How can we forget Miss Connie, of course, having a moment? I just saw her a couple of nights ago at the door at Battle Hymn, which I haven't been there in a minute, child. My granny self going outside. Who did I think I was? No, but I have fun. Anyway, um, well, I'm over here ranting and raving. Um, but yeah, I think that was definitely one of the strongest parts of his time there. Really pulling out some dynamic people and being able to inject the Mugler ready to wear. He really forced it into the zeitgeist. Like if you weren't paying attention before, you were going to pay attention now, and had people talking about Mugler, like child, people on the streets, people in the hood, people uptown on Fordham Road in the Bronx talking about Mugler outfits and getting a Mugler bodysuit. Like he really made it something to be excited about. And of course, there was that H&M Mugler collaboration where that was like the perfect in the strategy. Like honestly, H&M fashion collaborations, say what you want about H&M, but the concept of the H&M fashion collab, not just any fast fashion collab, because it's not like any other, it is like really, it's really a phenomenon. The way that they command PR and fashion to get their stuff out there, and the way that they are able to work with designer and luxury brands that are legit luxury and work in a way where, excuse me, these luxury brands don't have to worry about being devalued, which I think is something that they're very much worried about, and which is why a lot of brands probably turned their nose up at the opportunity, or turned, because more and more brands these days are doing collaborations, as you know. Thought Casey did good work, and that campaign with all the dolls was iconic. Yes, the campaigns, the visuals were another moment that I wanted to talk about. You put me onto their collab with Versace. It was stunning, the photos. Yes, yes. I have a video that I'm editing tonight. I've been working on a couple of videos for y'all. I'm churning with the content, y'all. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, but Just now. I'm working. So I definitely have a video talking more about that H&M Versace collab, but that was a really good collaboration. I mean, they really had some hits. H&M does it like no other brand does it because they really are able to understand what are the parts of the brand that you cannot ignore and that are their signature. They really incorporate also the things that they know that um mass market demographic will latch onto. Not to mention they don't do a super shitty job of replicating the effect of what they got from the designers that they're collaborating with. But yeah, so that collaboration was a big moment as well. And he really did what he could to make it a pop culture point of focus, the Mugler brand. And you know, bringing Megan the Stallion on there, the fact that he really carried out a collaboration with her in the sense of bringing it from you know, the fashion, the runway, the red carpet, you know, the fashion film that she starred in as well. Hi, welcome. What's going on? What's going on, friends? So glad I'm subscribed and this made it on my timeline. Excited for all the content to come. Yes, yes, indeed. Stay tuned. Thanks for coming. But he went from having Meg on the front rows of the fashion shows, um, having her, you know, dressing her for her appearances and her performances, and then eventually directing a music video for her and dressing her for the video. And I feel like that was such a Mugler-esque, like a page out of Mugler's book, because as you know, he has, you know, had his hand in directing music videos and directing visuals. I've been talking about his work for Beyonce during the I Am World Tour. It's on my Instagram post that I just posted a little bit earlier. Go ahead and tap that, double tap that even if you like. Hi, y'all. Welcome to the Yungfleur Life Space. If I didn't greet you already, I'm Yungfleur. We're talking about Mugler and the recent step down and the new appointment. So thanks for joining in. Please give me a thumbs up if you did not already. So, as I was saying, working in the same vein of kind of like Manfred Mugler, kind of like as far as strategy is concerned. And then also, you know, dressing so many of the starlets and making it something that people idolize, but also could access. And so he was able to really make this glamorous moment out of something that was very commercial, or make something commercial out of something that was very glamorous, should I say. I think about even when he didn't he do looks for like the WAP video? That was one of the craziest moments to me, even, especially because as a nerd, he did some of his signature cat suits in like crazy colors that he's never done them in before. But yeah, like Casey really did. I think that was pretty much the legacy. That was pretty much like the heart of his legacy there. I do think that things started to trail off for the last couple seasons, and I wonder how things were doing sale wise. Oh, another thing. I'm jumping all over the place. Another thing that was iconic about his era, how can I forget, is the illusion wear. The illusion denim jeans with the cutouts, with the booty stripes and things like that. Those were super fly. Um, and honestly, I just never had the money at the time that I could access them. And then when I did have the money, access them. Child, I ain't have no money. I was broke. I couldn't buy them. And then when I did have the money, they weren't in my size. They were all sold out. You know, regular pains of a shopper. Regular pains of a fashion babe. I don't know if Mugler can be commercialized. Why do you say that? I think the main point that the Mugler company grasps is that they can't return to doing the Manfred Terry Mugler style of things. Like, it's not, maybe as a couture thing, but it's not realistic for what they would want to sell. I still want some of those pieces. Yeah, I think that they should really, I feel like they could do a lot if they just like reproduced or worked on or recreated some of the things that they had done before. Not that they don't do that now, but like give us like damn near runway derivatives of those things. I feel like that would sell. It's super niche. Yes, absolutely. The bag sucked. And that is the other thing. The bag, I don't think the bag did anything. The bag made no noise. The it bag made no noise, unfortunately. Thumbs up if you haven't already. That would be super sweet of y'all. But yeah, I think aside from those things that I mentioned, like the illusion denim and like the illusion tights and the other piece. What was I just saying? Ah, child, I'm tired already. But you know what pieces I was talking about. Aside from those things, I don't think anything else really took off. And then the last couple seasons just lost steam, like following the fashion films that they were doing, which was another thing. I think that another high for Casey was working on those fashion films and debuting them during the lockdown and during the rise of the COVID pandemic. Like those were some of the most successful, most engaging, most impactful, excuse me, remote productions that we got during that season. Like that, I don't think any other fashion films or any other kind of like remote projects aside from Hanifa and that 3D fashion show, I don't think anything else really touched those. What would be cute is if Blue walks from Mugler and walk with Beyonce just like Diane and Tracy. I don't think we're there yet. Mm, mm, I guess. But what would that do? I'm not opposed to it. Like, I'm not opposed to seeing either of them on the running, but I feel like that would just be like, obviously, just like a PR stunt. But it's like, okay. I feel like it would be cool, but then like the fervor and the energy for that would die down just like immediately after. But it would be cute. It would be cute. Um, yeah. But now, enter Miguel Castro Fritas, right? And let's talk or Fritas. Let's talk about him. He is, first of all, Portuguese. I wrote some facts in the thing. Let me pull up even the note that I wrote. So, fast facts as I wrote them on my stories because, child, I didn't do this work for nothing. I did not do this work for nothing. Um, uh, he's the new creative director of Mugler, of course, succeeding Katie Cadwaller. Why did I misspelled it on the stories. Ah, going straight to Suits was a harsh transition. Oh, yes, I agree. I agree. And the thing is that I don't think they ever figured out a way to make the suit in a way that was appealing to everyone. But continuing. Miguel graduated from Central St. Martin's in 2004. He worked under Dior. He worked at Dior under Galliano. He worked at YSL under Stefano Palladi, and he worked at Lanvin under Albert Elbaz. All very iconic eras, very beloved eras, very beloved designers. Head of tailoring at Christian Dior under Raf Simons, another iconic era. He was the head of women's wear at Dries Van Noten. Most recently, creative director at Sportmax from spring summer 2021 to I believe it was spring summer 2024. And we're going to take a look at some of those collections really quick just to get a little taste of what we could possibly be seeing from this guy. He was a former dancer, very much like Manfred Terry Mugler was. And his first Mugler collection drops for spring summer 2026 at Paris Fashion Week. So, definitely someone with a lot of medals, a lot under his belt when it comes to experience working for luxury, high fashion brands that really have a focus on women and women's tailoring as well, and really prestigious as well for those things. I think I don't know what to expect. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little on the fence because first of all, my first question is, where are the shoes? Oh yeah. We didn't even really get, I mean, the shoes that they got also were like, I think the streamlinedness of it, you know what I think? I think that there are certain elements from the old Mugler that Casey channeled and did a really good job of at Mugler, but I do think that were some referential moments that he still could have drawn from that he maybe missed an opportunity to seize and capitalize on. For example, like you're talking about the footwear, like I feel like there are certain elements of old Mugler that they could have pulled in that people are specifically looking to have that we did not get, because in this new era, Casey tried to break away by once again giving us something that was very streamlined and very modern. And so it's like, this is not your mother's Mugler, but it's still the essence of your mother's Mugler. And there were moments where we were like, no, baby, we want mommy's Mugler. Like, we want Mubba's Mugler, literally. Like, don't give us like a very referential silhouette. Like, no, give me the bells and the whistles that it came with. Jewelry was an opportunity to, yeah, I think so. But I think more so to the bigwigs, the people on top, and maybe the direction that they were trying to go in with the brand. And now that he's out and Miguel is in, the first thing on my mind is, what is the goal? What is the goal when we're at a place now where the ready-to-wear sales are, I can imagine, more so at a standstill now. Definitely not as good as they were around the time when, you know, Meg was wearing it and it was like on tour on every freaking singer, every performer, every ratchet on Baddies was wearing the suit. Like, it's definitely not pulling in the coin that it was during that heyday. And at the same time, I'm certain that the sales on the fragrance continue to eat and just like dominate everything else. So it makes me wonder, what is the necessity to continue the ready to wear at this point, aside from just for the sake of continuity, right? And then the second question is, what is the goal? Like, what goals do they have this time around for the new creative director? What lessons have they learned that they want to rectify, or what holes have they found in their strategy that they're looking to fill with the help of this new creative director? And you know, it's pressure, child. I can imagine that making more commercial pieces, specifically when it comes to the bags and the shoes, will be something they'll touch on. Just because that was such a low, and that is always like the cornerstone of sales for a lot of luxury brands and fashion brands in general. Like, the shoes and the bags are always the first to go, and the easiest to buy, the easiest to bet on, the easiest thing in the digital era to order as a gift or for yourself. Like, you don't have to worry about a bag not fitting you. Maybe it's not the size that you like. Maybe there's that, but you can always get over that. You can't get over, you know, pants that don't fit you. That's, I mean, it's going to sit there. It's obsolete immediately after that, right? But yeah, he has a lot of accolades to himself. The tailoring at Christian Dior makes me think that like he's going to be very much about the body conscious vibes. Reading through his catalog as well. The dancer element, who knows where he'll take that, but the idea of the performance wear, for sure. Like, I mean, he's going to be dressing a lot of people for stage just because that's how things go. And sidebar, this is like a bigger topic, I guess, to talk about, and maybe someone else is talking about it and I'm just like super late to the party. But can we talk about how, when you think about fashion these days and you think about, excuse me, fashion with a capital F, like looks, right? As far as like high fashion designer looks, and those moments that everybody wants to have but may not necessarily afford. I feel like more than ever these days, it seems like the music industry is powering fashion. Like, it is carrying fashion. And I know like that alliance has been a thing for a minute, but it seems like, you know, these days when it comes to the flashiest looks, the it looks, like we're really seeing that on somebody singing or dancing or rapping on stage more than anybody else. I think more than someone on film. Also because a lot of the looks are so fantastical or very thematic. I feel like more often than not, you're gonna see it on somebody on stage or in a concert, and especially when it comes to the tours once again. So it makes it feel like I feel like the music industry powers a lot of the more creative side of fashion. That was my point. That was my point. Because of course the retail is still a thing, whatever. But as far as like when we talk about fashion and we're like, where's the drama? Where's the excitement? Where's the this and that? They're not going to necessarily put that in the stores. Why? Because that's not what is flying off the racks. That's just how it works, baby. But we do notice that when it comes to the music, the performance aspect, the music videos, the award shows, the concerts and the tours, and all of those kind of things, and even the album art, the promo behind that, that sphere is where we see a lot of these like capital L looks being funneled over to and played with and things like that. Um, and it only makes sense that like, you know, fashion is like hugging back even tighter. And so when you think about even the K-pop thing, it all gets swallowed up. Like it's just more people to dress, more high profile moments to reach people at, more promo and advertisement. And that is why these people are getting paid so much nowadays, because that's where the money is going and that's where the money is flowing out from. They are the only people with a profession where at every single moment of every single day, they can and probably should be in a look. And being in something over the top is expected, it's welcomed. Having different eras is a continuous concept in the music industry. There's not really an era with like I'm sure like athletes have eras for sure, but as far as a branding era, no one is doing that like fashion and music. I mean, film and music, but even more so music these days. Like it's always about, oh, they're having their dark era, they're having their whatever era. And I think to the K-pop folks, where you know, if you're a K-pop fan or you've watched a couple of the groups, even they have like this like shift back and forth between like this more maybe sensual or kind of like darker kind of mood, and they'll go into something very glossy and hyper poppy, and then they'll kind of like filter into something a little bit more urban feeling. And there's always just like fashion that is like overhauled. It's like I feel like music and all of those kind of things, it's like the grandest example of like a Forever 21 like haul on YouTube. Like the way they just like dump a whole bunch of clothes and this is the era and this is what we're doing, this is what we're giving, then out out the door. And then here's the next project, here's the latest thing we're working on. You need to like revamp your look. You're not a girl, you're not yet a woman. We need to dress you for that. Boom, here comes a whole new wardrobe. Get that out the way. And then, you know, the cycle just continues and continues. I mean, yes, there are stylists, so things are being recycled, yes, but there's also plenty of custom designing happening. There's plenty of purchasing things straight off the rack that's happening. There's plenty of just labor going into all of that, and all of that costs money. And it seems like music is the biggest client for that nowadays. And I also say that as someone who works for a brand who does custom and you know, we create all types of pieces for different types of talent, but the requests for music are really like through the roof. I feel like they're always shooting something, they're always doing something, they always have somewhere to be. They're like a different type of celebrity. They kind of overlap with the day-to-days and responsibilities and appearances of other types of celebrities in different industries, and like do those two. Like they have to be at sporting events, they have to be at like, you know, charity events, they have to be at all these other things, and they have to be at their own events, they have to put their own activations together, they have to record, they have to promote, like they have to model maybe, like it's a whole bunch. But getting back to what I was saying with Miguel, I do think that first of all, we're getting another, you know, someone was saying another white man designer. I don't know. Would you consider him white? It's Portuguese. Would people say that's Portuguese, white, or like white Portuguese? I don't know. I do not know his bloodline. I am not 23 and me. Okay. But another man designer at Mugler, I feel like, do we like I don't know. I do think that I would have liked to see a woman design at Mugler specifically. Because, hey, maybe that difference in perspective could, add something to the table, maybe, to say what women, and a hyper femme brand should give to cater to its people, what they want right now and what they want to buy. Who knows? Who knows? Um, but I do want to show y'all in our last like maybe 10 minutes of this before I go. I did want to go over some of his collections, some of the things that he worked on, just so that we can see, because as I mentioned earlier, he did design, he was creative director at Sportmax from spring summer 2021 to spring summer 2024. Shout out to the fact that we've been running with no problems and no glitches, right? Right? Y'all notice y'all not complaining? Y'all notice y'all not all up in my ass and all up in these comments talking about how you can't hear me, you can't see me, you can't see me, you can't hear me? We're doing things, but I also have not pulled up any media just yet. So we will see. Bear with the kid, okay? But I wanted to pull up what he did. I mean, of course, this is work from, once again, SS21 to SS24. So who knows what kind of era the man is in now. I'm going to connect to my iPhone. Pray for me, okay? Just pray for your boy that we connect with no hitches, because tag walk is, oh, you know what? I think it's because I'm typing tag walk wrong. Oh, it was because I typed tag walk wrong. Okay, we're gonna switch over. All right, I'm about to skirt and tag in the share screen with y'all. So I'm hoping that this works. But it's gonna work. Why wouldn't it work? Why wouldn't it work? Why would this MacBook be rude to me? I've done nothing. I've done nothing wrong. So let's just take a look at some of the work from Miguel Castro Freitas, who is the new creative director at Mugler, and his work as creative director at Sportmax. Using tag walk, yeah, Morgan. Shout out to the motherfucking tag walk, yeah. We back on it. We are back on it. Let's do it. So as you can see, he does a lot of like the sensual thing, lots of very soft lines and very soft fabrics. And still, I mean, this is Sportmax, so Sportmax is known for having retro futuristic tinge to it, and also being, it's in the name, a bit sporty. And so he definitely, I guess, I'm trying to see what does the brand see in him that he could carry over. Hi, thumbs up if you haven't already on this live, my friends. I really appreciate it. We're talking about Sportmax and Miguel Castro Freitas, who used to work there, and now he works at Mugler, and he about to get this money. So, very much a minimalist approach to design. Still this very sporty kind of thing. But not for nothing, I'm hoping we get a little bit more, because this is not doing it for your boy. But this is just his first collection, once again, at Spring Summer at Sportmax. This was his Spring Summer 2021 collection. So this is not bad. It's possible that he could be giving us, a reawakening, something new, hitting us with that new. But let's see. I want to go into SS 2022. Why not? We could definitely skim through the man's eras real quick. Welcome to everyone that joined in. If you are new and just joined the Yungfleur live space, I'm Yungfleur, but you already know we are motherfucking live, and we are talking about Miguel Castro Freitas, the new creative director of Mugler, and I'm looking at some of his past work so we can hopefully get some preview into what we could expect from his time over there. Please thumbs up if you haven't already. I appreciate it. So let's look at the Spring Summer 2022 show. And this is the one that I actually this is the one that I posted on my on my you on my TikTok, I mean to say. I'll say my YouTube. And so once again, the sportier looks, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it though. I don't know. Oh, I should pull up the end part. There we go. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know. You know what? I'm open to being surprised, like I said, and I'm interested to see what he does. And of course, once again, this is what he did for Another House, so he's not necessarily going to channel it the same way. And there's a whole you know there's a whole stretch of space for him to give us something completely different. But this is not it for me. Um, like no, like no, babe, like hell no. Like hell to the nah, girl. I know they don't think they're going to be selling things. And why the shoes? Do we need the Mugler woman to be less snatched and more breezy, soft? I think that's an interesting question. I think the fact that the snatched and super, pointy shouldered and hyper glam type of Mugler archetype is so iconic and so much a part of their brand. I almost feel like people have to kind of like revisit that, or like, just like pay homage to that, just because it is what people know and love the Mugler brand for. But I definitely think that whoever will come in later, I could see, especially with his work, trying to soften the Mugler woman a little bit more. It makes me think of Olivier Roustan's collection recently for the Balmain Autumn Winter 2025, right? Where he took a lot of the embellishment that is his signature and transformed it into this much softer kind of thing, using softer fabrics and taking away the metal and the shine, the hard metal kind of thing, and making it something that felt a lot more gentle and a lot more pliable and soft. But do we need the Mugler woman? If you ask me, I think exactly what I said is exactly how I feel. Like, I do think that there should be a balance. Like, there should be something for the person that wants to feel like Mugler, for the Mugler, baddie for every element, every experience. But I do think that, like, trying to do the super soft bit is kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I feel like Mugler should like lean into its like larger than lifeness with more than just really glitzy campaigns, mind you, with more than like a bomb cast or whatever and amazing glam. Like, give us fashion that like feels fearsome, that feels like, you're in charge when you step in a room. I think that's what the people are wanting. And maybe they can be, the answer to suiting right now. I think there is a bit of a gap when it comes to like evolving the idea of suiting, or giving us our next really good suit. I feel like we haven't had a really good iconic suit in a minute. Especially as far as women's wear is concerned, like we haven't had a really good suit in a few seasons. And so maybe, they could be those ones. They could be those suitors. No pun intended. How do you feel though? Do you feel like the Mugler woman should be less snatched and more breezy soft, or are you feeling? I almost wanted to say a more elevated Namilia. Namilia, I like Namilia. They could get real in a place for me, but I do see what you're saying. It would have to be a lot, very, very, very elevated. No shades in Amelia, but I feel like it would have to be just because like they also do amazing like evening suits. Like Terry Mugler is known for that. Like the Mugler brand is known for like great evening wear. And so something like there's gonna need to be some strength in that as well. And I don't think the evening wear that we got this time around was really anything strong. That was the thing. It was like so basic that when it needed to be, it actually needed to like pick up speed. It was still so like chill. Keep the sensuality and expand on silhouettes. And that's another thing for sure. The expansion on silhouettes, absolutely. And I think we did get some of that with Mugler until maybe one of the last, was it the last show? Or maybe I'm bugging. I did love the casting diversity of Casey Cadwaller's era. I really did love those. Those archives are so rich. Yeah, there's so many ways they can spin it. I feel like there are so many other chapters left to write based on the foundation. Like Mugler put in work during his time. That man was like pedal to the metal every second, every presentation, every design is just so full of history. Like very much like a designer of an era that like we will never get back. Like he is like the Karl Lagerfeld of his idea of glam. You know what I mean? Like just in terms of like the work ethic. Yeah. But we will see. We shall see. We shall see. I think I'm gonna tap out for the night, y'all. This was a cute little 1 hour situation. I'm not enthused. I imagine the Mugler ballerina core. LOL. There's so much there. Yeah, there's a lot to go through. But I don't think that looking at this stuff, I'm not the most confident. I mean, once again, the resume is extensive. The resume is long. Okay, but. And once again, this is Sport Max. Like I'm trying to look on the bright side of things and still hold out hope that we're gonna get something cute. But also, like, no one was really paying attention to Mugler fashions before that guy came, and it wouldn't be a surprise if they don't pay attention afterwards. Like, this is giving Blue Marine all over again. The Blue Marine effect continues. Have I not been talking about this? Yeah, that's the one thing about being a great designer that's there for just a time, for a short time. You leave a hole that's bigger than the one that you filled. You end up leaving a hole that's felt even bigger than the one that you filled. Because everybody just remembers the last project, the last collection. And they'll remember the taste on their tongues of like how much they missed what the flavor was that you gave them beforehand, and the fact that that is no longer on the menu, babe. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, maybe he will wow us. I live for a surprise. I live to be gagged. And the fashion industry knows it. That's why they keep talking about people stepping down and stepping up and stepping out, stepping up. Give me a damn job. I'm not gonna stop saying it. Like, who do I have to call to get a creative director role around here? What's going on? Anyway, I'm tapping off, y'all. Thanks for pulling up. Thanks for pulling up to the live. I will be back on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the live. Shout out to A Clear Show. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Whoop, whoop. We got in this thing with no hitches, no problems. Okay. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 performance. I'll be back with more on Thursday at 9. I love y'all so much. You know where to find me on the Instagram live, on the Instagram. Hit me if you have any questions, any topics you want to talk about. And look out for my posts and show me some love when you see me put these posts up, because they're going to be cute. And I'm looking forward to giving a little bit more education on some of the topics that we talk about on here. So look out for the content. It's rolling. It's rolling. It's coming. I'm going to see y'all later. Love you much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.